Hello, students. Let's begin our social science class. Myself, Sunena Singh, your social science teacher, in continuation of NCRT Economics chapter The Story of Village Palampur. Today's contents are: how is land distributed between the farmers of Palampur? Then, who will provide the labor, then the capital needed in farming, and last, sale of surplus farm products. All these four topics we are going to discuss today in this video. Start with how is land distributed between the farmers of Palampur. By the picture which is given in book also on picture number 1.5. The division of the land is very uneven, some very small plot and some plots are very big. So this we are going to discuss. How is land distributed in the farmers of Palampur? In Palampur, about one third of the 450 families are landless. Out of that 150 family, most of them Dalits, have no land for cultivation. So simple formula, out of total 450 family, 150 families are landless, those who are considered Dalit. Then if you see the picture given in book, picture number 1.5, then you can find out that the large number of small plots is scattered around the village in the picture. These are cultivated by the small farmers. On the other hand, the remaining remaining families, uh, those who are 240, cultivated a small plot of land less than 2 hectare. More than half the area of village is converted by plot that are quite large in size. If you go through with the picture, you can easily understand. In Palampur, there are 60 families of medium and large farmers who cultivate more than 2 hectare of land. A few of the large farmers have land extending over 10 hectare of or more. So by this division, there were few features you understand. Out of 450 families, 150 family considered Dalit have no land for cultivation, and these families who own the land, 240 families cultivated small plots of the land which is less than 2 hectare in the size, and due to this, the size, cultivation of such land doesn't bring adequate income to the farmer. Fine. So these are some feature which you remember for question answer. Question related this: how is land distributed among the farmers of Palampur? 3 mark question, and that whatever I have discussed, that is the part of answer. Who will provide labor? Means the large farmhouses who work on that. Medium and large farmers hire farm laborers to work on their fields. Those who are having money, they hire labor, or these labor work in their farmhouses. They come from either landless families or families cultivating a small plot of land. These landless labor um, work in the big farmhouse on the wages, because whatever they grow, it is not enough for their um, needs. So to fulfilling their needs, they work in large farm houses. They do not have right over the crops grown on the land. They only work like the people is required that clearing the weeds, then harvesting, then threshing, means number of farming activity for that odd job. So due to this, the condition of labor, they are paid wages by the farmer or whom they work. Wages can be cash or in kind of crop, sometimes they get meals also. It is very wide, varies from one region to another region, from one crop to another crop, and one farm activity to another, like sowing, harvesting, etc. So they are totally dependent on the mercy of the large farmhouse owners, yeah, large land owners. There is also a wide variation in duration of employment. Whether they work whole year, they are getting continuous income or not. A farm labor might be employed on a daily basis or for one particular farm activity like harvesting or for the whole year. Means they are not permanent worker in any farmhouse. According to the requirement of agriculture, they hire labor sometime daily wages and sometimes for particular month or sometime very rarely for the whole year. The capital needed in farming to do cultivation, we need money. So how the all farmers arrange that money? Most small farmers have to borrow money to arrange for capital. Means a small farmer take loans, that is from the money lender or the land loan owners. They borrow from large farmers or the village money lenders or the traders who supply various inputs for cultivation. Means either they are taking from large farmers or money lender, or some of the people those who are having like seeds, fertilizer, they took these material for farming and afterward they pay it when they harvest their crop. Whatever they are taking, they have to pay a large amount as a interest. The rate of interest on such loan is very high. They are put to great stress to repay the loan. Means the small farmers always in bad condition. Whenever they grow, they have to repay. So their condition never improve. Whereas the large farmer or medium farmers have their own saving from farming, they are thus able to arrange for the capital needed. Means after the crop they sell into the market, they are having extra money that further they use for different purpose. So this we are going to see in next topic. Question related to this discussion is how small and large farmers arrange capital for farming activity. 3 mark. So you have to give answer. Uh, uh, one, the small farmers how they borrow money, and then what is the position of medium and large farmers. So this is how one and a half. Sale of surplus farm products. The word is little bit typical for you. That's why I explain what does sale of surplus mean. Surplus farm products refer to the agricultural output which is over and above the self consumption. Means if you earn something, you use for your consumption as well as extra you sell into the market. This is called surplus. If farmer has surplus from product, then he or she is left with an option to fill it in the market and additional amount of money that I have already explained. The extra crop they sell into the market, and that money further they use for different purpose. For example, Tejpal Singh, the large farmer, has surplus of 350 quintals of wheat from all his land. He sells the surplus wheat at the Raiganj market and has good earnings. He put most of the money in his bank account. Then he used the saving for leading to the farmers like Savita who were in need of loan. When he pay to the Savita or give money to the Savita, then he charge the interest. Savita has to pay a big amount of interest to Tejpal Singh. He also used the saving to arrange for the working capital for farming in the next season. In beginning, I have explained you what does working capital means. The working capital means the raw material and money to give to the laborers and raw material for the growing crop that they require in next season. He also plans to use his earning to buy another tractor that would increase his fixed capital, that is going to use by him continuously for farming. So this is how he used his savings. Whereas the small farmers like Savita and Govind's son have little surplus wheat because their total production is a small, and from this substantial share is kept for their own family needs. Means Savita and Govind's son, whatever they grow, it is only for their consumption. They are not having that much bulk of grain which they could sell into the market. So this is the condition of Savita and Govind's son. So it is the medium and large farmers who supply wheat to the market, but not small farmers. Question: what does Tejpal Singh do with his earnings? 5 mark question. You have to explain all the point which is given in from 1 to 3 series. Fine. 5 points. Thank you very much. That's all for today.